Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. My channel is about all things makeup related, all things beauty. I mainly like tutorials, but I film all kinds of makeup reviews and just all kinds of makeup content. So today's video is all about concealers. These are my personal opinions about concealer. I'm a nurse and I work 12-hour shifts. I'm stressed, I'm sweating, I'm kind of oily skin, combination skin. I lived in a very humid environment, Florida. So these are concealers. These are my concealer tips, tricks, comments, personal opinions that I think would benefit other people because I feel like I've put concealers really through the test. I've worn them while working and I worked a night shift. I had to cover dark circles. I love makeup, so even though I was a nurse and I had my face covered with a mask or whatever, I still wore a full face of makeup. And so this is just a video, opinions, some education about concealers and my experience with concealers. And I feel like I can have a pretty good guess on what's a good concealer and what's not based off of my experience with makeup and my profession and just what I've put concealers through for a test. So we're just gonna jump right into it. First things first. I am a nurse and I work really, really hard for my money and I like to save my money, but I also like to buy good quality makeup. I do splurge on high-end products, but I also purchase drugstore products, and I know that drugstore products can be just as good as high-end. You can save so much money with makeup. I think that we are influenced to buy new products. We are influenced that certain things are better than others based off of just price or just being sold at Sephora. And I personally just disagree with all that because I think that it's all about application, tools, and the skin, your base skin that you're applying the product to. All right, we're going to jump into the nitty-gritty. So I have found that if I purchase a super light colored concealer and a darker concealer, or even like a warmer concealer, I am able to mix my own concoction. Hear me out, that when I bought this concealer online and it came in the mail and the shade is Snow, I should have known better, but it's called Snow. I was like, holy cannoli, this is so light. It makes me look crazy underneath my eyes, makes me look sick. I was like, I gotta return this. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to return this. Ugh, why did I purchase this? I should have known it was gonna be too light. Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I ended up not returning it. But my Tarte Shape Tape concealers that I love at the time were too dark for me. So I would just mix in my light concealer. And let me tell you something. All you need is 2 concealers. That's all you need. You don't need 5, 6, 7 concealers. And I just think that we have so much pressure into buying different concealers for different reasons. And other than a light concealer and a dark concealer, for me, my opinion, I would purchase a pink concealer. This is a drugstore pink concealer because the pink concealer is something I can't duplicate. I feel like I could add some blush into my concealer, but it's not gonna be the right pink shade for underneath my eyes. So what I'm getting at is if you have a light concealer that is pigmented, long-lasting, matte, that's something like the Born This Way by Too Faced or something like Tarte Shape Tape. These are my 2 ride or dies. You can really mix in, even if it's so light, you can mix in a liquid bronzer and you can darken up your concealer in so many ways. You have to be your own cosmetic chemist. If you want to save money on makeup, think outside the box. You really are your own artist. You add dark pigment here when you want something to be darker. There's so many possibilities, and I just feel like I wanted to make a video on tips and tricks about it just to inspire people to be their own cosmetic chemist. So that way we're all saving our money. We all have different, ways to make our concealer work for us. So if you're out in the sun that day and all of a sudden your concealer is too light, You can add a little bit of bronzer. You're still gonna have the pigment, you're still gonna have the coverage, but that little bit of bronzer is gonna make your concealer darker and it's just gonna look better. So, and same goes with, I don't personally like concealers that are sheer. I don't see the point in a light to medium coverage concealer. Call me crazy. I don't get it. For the marketing, I don't get it. But I guess if people are pushing it and saying that it's amazing and it's a light coverage sheer concealer, people will buy it. But in my opinion, I need something full coverage. I need something, you know, durable. So if you have a matte concealer that is durable and full coverage, but for some reason you want to like sheer it out, it's too much, whatever, you can always add a little bit of highlight if you want to be luminous, or you can just add some lotion to your concealer and thin it out yourself. You don't need to be buying sheer coverage, light coverage concealers. And I'm gonna have a full video on foundations because the same thing can be applied to your foundation. I know, it's rocket science. But really, this video is just to inspire people to be your own cosmetic chemist, you know, if you think about it. So I'm just gonna jump into some things that I mixed together. So I have Tarte Shape Tape Light, Medium, Honey. All right, this is like perfect. I love this concealer, and same with Light Neutral. You can see the difference in shades here. This is more of a, which one's this? This one says neutral, but it's more like yellow. I don't know. You see the differences there, right? Clearly very well loved. So sometimes I mix them together. Sometimes I use it on its own. But during the winter months when I was super pale, I would mix in Snow by Too Faced, Born This Way. This is a full coverage matte concealer. It's made in Italy. This little guy, not little actually. This guy is 0.45 ounces and the Too Faced one is 0.33. So you get more product here. And so I've just been mixing my lighter concealers with my current concealers, and I'm just like, this is mind-blowing. Like, I wish someone would have told me this before I went out and bought like different shades of concealer. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, I would like think I had to go buy multiple shades of concealer. Like, oh, I need my winter concealer. I need my summer concealer. Really? You just need a darker concealer and a light concealer, and then you can just mix them together as the seasons change. Mind-blowing. And if you want to sheer it out, again, add highlighter or add lotion, just so that way you can just sheer it out. And maybe you don't want it super sheer, you want just a tad sheer, a tad more moisturizing. But yeah, just be your own cosmetic chemist. I know, it's really like, I'm sure people are watching this like, wow, I thought this was going to teach me something I didn't already know. But some people don't know that you can mix your own shit. You can mix your own. So then I have here 5-in-1 Revlon Drugstore Concealer. This is the Caffeine Vitamin C. This has saved my life as a nurse. I am a day shifter, hardcore day shifter. I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I'll be at work at 6. So I have crazy dark circles, and I put this on first thing, then foundation, then concealer. And this is pink toned, which really hides the dark spots or the darkness. And also it's pink and has caffeine and vitamin C. When I first put this on, it like tingled. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a reaction. Why is this tingling? So the whole awaken effect of that concealer is true. It's true. And it has a little applicator. It looks like that. And it's like $12.99, $10.99. It's kind of pricey for drugstore, but it's amazing. And this is a concealer I can't duplicate. You can always add blush. You can always try to add blush and try and duplicate it, but for this one, I can't duplicate it, so I bought this concealer. Next concealer that I purchased because I can't duplicate is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. It's like a pot just like that, and this concealer is amazing because I have a pimple right here. I have a pimple right there. I have some few breakouts here. And I have actually one smack dab between my brows, which you can't see. But this is amazing for concealing pimples. So is the Born This Way, but this is too light to do that. So it's worth the investment of buying a really good pot concealer to conceal your blemishes. And this NARS one is phenomenal. amazing, worth the investment. A little goes a long way. This is a ride or die concealer. So, pink concealers, pot concealers, these are important for reasons that you can't quite use their, everyday under eye concealers for. So these are worth, in my opinion, the investment. A good pink concealer, a good pink powder, and a potted concealer that you can use that covers it. So I have my two concealers I use for those reasons. Then I have my concealers I use for every day underneath. I use every day underneath my eyes. So to mix them, I mix them on the back of my hand and I use a Morphe brush. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe. It's dirty, don't judge me, it's super dirty. So I will take the Too Faced Born This Way concealer and I will just put a little glob like that. And then let's go in. I'm gonna go in with light and neutral. Clearly well loved, all the gold is worn off. And woo, it's a lot. I'm going to apply it right below, right there. And these are almost like the same color, so I should have done the other one. Here, I'm gonna mix them all. I'm gonna mix them all. And again, you might even have a darker concealer. Like you might have a really dark one because you get really, really tan, but this is the range I kind of go for. So you see that one, you see that, it's really, really light. Snow is very light, and then the other one. So I'm gonna take my concealer brush and I just mix them like a painted artiste. Like an artiste. And then I will just blot this with a brush wherever I need it. And then if, let's say, the next week I'm tanner, so maybe I don't need snow, maybe I just mix the other two Tarte ones. But pretty much, you are your own chemist. And I know this probably isn't a secret, like, it's not a secret, but it's just a reminder because I feel like there's been so much pressure in the beauty community in the past like 3 years to just purchase. Have 5 million eyeshadow palettes, have 5 million concealers. Why have full coverage? You need sheer, medium coverage, natural skin, like all this stuff that I'm just like, okay, like there's so much influence to buy it, but I'm like, if you just take the concealers you own, mix a little lotion in them, now they're sheer, now they're medium coverage, like you don't need to be influenced to buy all these things because you already have them. And even mixing a eyeshadow primer or a face primer with your concealer will sheer it, but also make it last, All right, another huge topic I want to talk about is creasing with concealers. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen because underneath your eye, you have this skin. Depending on your eye protrusion, just your skin elasticity, how tired you are, how old you are, like the creasing, there's nothing you can really do about it. Like nothing you really do about it. There's surgeries you can get, it's called an eye pinch. There's stuff, there's lasers, there's all kinds of things you can do to help the skin underneath your eye. But the creasing with concealer, anything that promises no creasing is just a lie. And Painted by Spencer, he's an amazing makeup artist here on YouTube, TikTok, I'm sure you guys know of him, I love that he will straight up say it's crease resistant, but it's not crease proof. And I think that a lot of companies love to talk about, oh, the creasing, like crease proof, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit because it can be crease resistant, but your concealer is going to crease. It's just going to happen. And especially because depending on your skin type, if you have dry skin, there's creasing. Oily skin, there's creasing. It's just, this is an area of constant movement. You're looking down, you're looking up, you're smiling, like it's gonna crease. There's tips and tricks and makeups and powders that you can do to stop it from creasing, but your concealer is gonna crease. So any kind of concealer, if you're gonna buy it and you're like, oh, I'm gonna purchase this because it's crease proof, because it's not gonna crease, that's just all a lie, because it's just any kind of concealer is gonna crease. So don't let that inspire you for the purchases you're gonna make. Just embrace the creasing. You can always do things to help decrease the creasing or make it not as obvious or not as creaseful, but creasing is something that's going to happen, and we're human and we smile and we move our eyes, and that's okay if you have creases. I know people will attack people for wearing makeup and be like, oh, there's so much makeup underneath her eyes, but like, so what? Makeup creases and it's gonna be okay. Think about it in a marketing perspective. They want you to think their product is life-changing. They want you to think their product is the best of the best. They're gonna do everything they can to put that in your head so you buy the product. But remember basic physics, science, basic things, that your eyes have creases. You know, like right here on top of your eyelid, when you look up, like you can't promise that a product on your eyelid, primer, concealer, whatever, isn't gonna crease. That's just complete baloney. So I just wanted to add that in here, that is something that a lot of cosmetic companies promise, and it's not true. And to remember that. And I love that Spencer, Painted by Spencer, mentioned that. He always says like, crease proof, no. Crease resistant, yes. So I'm trying to film some more shorts. So I filmed this eye look, but I'm also trying to do more like tips and tricks and like makeup things on my channel. I usually do like tutorials and eyeshadow, but I'm really trying to inspire people to save your money. Like what is worth it, what is not. And I want to do like cosmetic chemistry based videos. Like what can you mix together to get, you know, like become your own cosmetic chemist. Because there's so much that we have already that we can work with without buying new. So yeah, I'm gonna have a video up soon. It's gonna be about kind of about like foundations, like this whole sheer coverage and medium coverage foundations. I'm just like, what's the point of putting the chemicals on your skin? Like, what is the point of spending the money, $40, $50 on something that's not even going to cover your imperfections? Like, I just don't get it. And people are like, well, it's more natural. Like, it's more this, it's more that. But like, I don't. Then like put lotion on or just mix your foundation with your lotion. Like, I just don't get it, because I'm like, but there's so much influence. There's so much of this, like, you need this mentality on YouTube and TikTok that is a lot of pressure. And I just want to create content where it's more like for the average working person. So, long spiel. This is my inspirational video to you to mix your concealers, what's worth the investment, what you can mix, and just embrace your makeup that you own. Because I promise whatever you own, you can mix with a lotion or whatever and make it sheer, nice, hydrating, you know, or just keep it by itself to keep it matte. You know what I'm saying. So I hope this was inspirational to you. And that completes this video. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.